Good morning. Happy Friday. Good morning, Dave. Um, yep, end of the week. Here we are. Sort of. I still have another class tomorrow, but then we'll be done. So we'll have class tomorrow, and then Monday, Tuesday, and then I'm going to be gone for a bit. Be back the next Monday, I guess. Yeah. I'll probably send out an email too for people that don't tune in as regularly, so they aren't surprised. All right, well, we should probably get started. Hi, Dora. So let's just sit and breathe for a little bit. Do a little pranayama. Morning, Deb. Morning, Susan. So we're just sitting up. Relax the shoulders. We're going to do even breathing. So breathing in through the nose, back out through the nose. Trying to make your inhales and your exhales about the same size. Right? Maybe to a count of 4, if that works for you. So we're inhaling peace and calm, exhaling any worries or concerns. So this pranayama is something you could do anytime. If you're feeling a little stressed, if you're feeling like your worries and concerns are overtaking your calm, maybe just sit for 5 minutes or so. Do this deep breathing. So we can't always keep our minds focused on what is positive and beautiful, right? There are times that, we spend a lot of time working on issues or problems that are going on in our life. Um, but as we dig through this stuff, it leaves, some residue in the body, in the psyche. Um, and we need to do this kind of breathing and releasing to move that stuff out of the body. So think of it like taking out the trash, right? So it's just a little self-maintenance, and you may need to do it during the day anytime that you feel like, hey, I'm feeling a little overtaken with all this stuff. Good morning, Barbara. Um, it's available to you anytime. And it's just kind of a mini tune-up. Um, it's, I mean, meditation is great too, but just the breath, especially if you are feeling kind of agitated or upset, that may not be the right state of mind to get into some meditation, but the breath is always there, right? We always have to breathe, so we can make it a more conscious breath and use that to kind of help change our mood, um, and change kind of the course of what's happening. So if you find yourself having a rough day, maybe you had an argument with someone, or maybe you went through a very stressful situation, um, take some time to let all that go. Rather than carry it through the rest of your day, you can really set it aside. And it sounds crazy, right? That 5 minutes of just breathing can change how you feel, but it will. Trust me. Try it. You'll be surprised. Um, you'll really feel like you can move on. Doesn't mean you've maybe solved your problem, but for today, you've solved what's going on here, right? Then you can deal with maybe later, the next day, whatever. Every day, maybe you work away at this problem, but you want to reset and let your body move past that. Um, it's almost like, when you do heavy exercise, or, lifting weights or something like that, you have to let your body kind of recover from that. The same thing, right? We're giving ourselves a time to sort of move through this, um, instead of just letting it pile up in our heads. So keep breathing, couple more breaths. And then we're just going to move into practice. So, deep breath, and then head comes down, chin toward the chest, relax and breathe. Then moving around, make a big circle. One way and then the other. Back to your center. Lean forward. And move around. One way and the other. Back up. To your seat, arms wide. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands together. Inhale wide. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers. Lift the hands, gaze up. And then arms down by your side. Inhale, lift. Lower. lift, and lower. One more, lifting up. Let's interlace the fingers. Extend the pointer finger. We're going to squeeze the biceps in by the ears. Take a deep breath. And then we're moving to the right. Back to center. Take a breath in here. Moving left. Back up. Set your gaze up at the hands and lean back a little. And everything back to center. Left hand on right knee, right arm behind you. Sit up tall. Take a twist. Moving back to center, switch sides. And move back to center. Tabletop. Then sitting back. Child's pose. So you can have knees apart or knees together. And you might rock a little side to side. You just kind of, it's a small movement, but you can feel it through the hip attachments. Coming back up. Tabletop to downward dog. Bending one knee and then the other. Sort of walking out into the pose. Stepping the feet up. Let's take a few breaths here. Rising slowly. Standing tall. Breath in and breath out. On an inhale, lift your arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back with the right. Drop the knee down, arms overhead. Hands to the mat, stepping back. Downward dog. Inhale, forward to high plank. Let's hold here. And then lower down. Inhale, lift, head and chest. Lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. Once more. Lifting up, head and chest. And lower. Making your way back up, tabletop to downward dog. Take one more breath here. On the exhale, we're stepping right foot up. Left knee drops, arms overhead. And then both hands to the mat. Step the back foot up and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Lift as you inhale. Coming back to mountain. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, left foot steps back. Set the knee down, arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. Step back. Into downward dog. Inhale, forward to high plank. Holding. And lower down. Inhale, lift. Head and chest. Lifting head and chest. Once more, head and chest. You could come up to upward dog if you want. And then lower down. Or moving back. Tabletop to downward dog. Take another breath. Then left foot steps up. Right knee drops, arms overhead. And hands to the mat. Step the back foot up. Fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, we're stepping back with the left. Press down with both feet. We're rising up. Warrior one. One more breath. Move to warrior two. Relax the shoulders. Breathe. Inhale, flipping right hand, lift it up high. One more breath. Right arm comes down to rest here. Pulling left shoulder back. Left arm lifts. Back up. Warrior two, and then both hands down. Straighten the right knee, turn the foot. So we're facing side of the mat, deep breath in. Hands at the waist, and fold. Bring the hands down, wherever you want to put them. So you can have the legs as wide as you want here. It could be not that far, right? It does different things. So, you could have, legs not that wide. That feels very different than stepping the legs really wide, right? It does different things. So you can see. The one thing you don't want is don't get too far so that you feel insecure in the feet and the ankles, right? You'll know you've gone too far when your ankles start wanting to roll. Don't want that. So if you feel like you're in that space, come back a little bit. And then when you're ready, using that strength in the legs, help to lift you up. Let's bring arms up over the head. And back down by your side. Turn to face the front. Right leg is out, left leg behind. Let's grab, you can grab one of your wrists here. If you want to then walk the hands up, you can, kind of getting closer and closer to the elbows. Or you can just stay back here. It doesn't really matter. Whatever feels good today. Some days your shoulders feel like a challenge, and some days they do not. So see what you need today. Take a breath, and then fold forward. Come on back up. Back foot steps up. Release the arms. Reach high. Back to mountain. Breath in. and out. Inhale, lift, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Then we're going to step back with the right. Rising up, warrior one. One more breath, then moving to warrior two. Shoulders relaxed. Steady gaze. Inhale, flip, left hand, lift high. And then left arm down. Pulling right shoulder back, right arm lifts. And back up. Just for a breath, warrior two. Hands down by your side, straighten your knee. Turn the foot. So another fold, whichever way you had your feet before. So if you did it really wide, maybe try it a little narrower this time, or the other way around. Take a deep breath. Hands at your hips to fold, and then, bring them down wherever you want. You could walk them out in front, walk them back. In between the legs, kind of drawing the body down closer. Whatever feels preferable today. Moving back up. Maybe arms up over the head. Stand by your side. Turning so the left foot is out in front. Same thing, but we're going to grab the opposite wrist. So if you don't remember, so I used the right hand to grab the left wrist. So I'm going to use the left hand to grab the right wrist. If you remember what you did, great. If you don't, just do whatever you automatically reach for and then switch, right? So generally speaking, we have one go-to way of doing these things. So I'm saying do the opposite for this one. Breath in and fold. Press down. And then back foot steps up, arms overhead, back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. So let's work on some balance. Standing on the right foot, we'll bring the left foot kickstand or up to the leg, further up. Staying away from that knee joint. We don't want to be pressing sideways against the knee joint, either above or below. Breathe. If you're feeling steady, arms can extend, but that's sort of the last thing. Everything else needs to really be in good shape before you want to go there. And then set the foot back down, switch sides. Oh, I think we were on the right foot to start. We don't usually do that. Okay, so now we're on the left foot. Or whichever one you did. Maybe you were smart and did left instead of right. I usually start with left on balance. Because most people are less strong on the left side. So it's a little more challenging. So we want to make sure that we get a good effort on that left side. And also because the right side is a little easier, we kind of end on a win, right? Instead of struggling like maybe we do sometimes on the left. Set the foot back down, bicycle legs. And then let's step out into Warrior 3. So we've got hands together. We're going to step out with the left to begin. Shifting the weight into that left side. We can start lifting up the right leg. See where you are with this. You can always extend the arms if that's helping you with your balance today. See what you need. Every day is different. And if you step out, then just come on back. You can give it a couple attempts. You don't have to just try once and be done. And then bring that foot down. We're going to step out with the opposite side. Breath in, stepping out with the right. It can be a small step. You don't want to have to shift too much for this. And then we're lifting up the left. And breathe. Steady breath. And then set your foot down. Bicycle legs. And make your way back up, top of the mat. Arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stepping back to downward dog. Inhale, moving forward to high plank. Hold here. And lower down. Head turns right. Arms back by your sides. Move your head back to center. Let's leave the arms by your side, resting the palms on the mat. We're going to start lifting up, head and chest. Lift the arms, lift the legs. And lower down. Head turns left. Relax. Head back to center. Let's come up into Sphinx Pose. So we've got the forearms resting on the mat and the palms. Elbows close to the body. Elbows right under the shoulder. Feet a little wider on the mat. Tops of the feet resting. And then we're pressing down with the palms, pulling back the shoulders, steady gaze. You could always move into seal here if you want to, which is just pressing down on the palms and straightening the arms. I'm not going to do that today. But it's always available to you if you feel like that's good for you today. And then everybody moving back down. Let's bring one hand on top of the other. Set the chin or forehead down. Feet a little wider on the mat, and maybe turn either toes in, heels out, heels in, toes out. Let's extend both arms here, and we're going to roll onto your side. So I'm picking left side so I can face the camera, but you can pick whichever side you want, right? Arms can be extended. You could come up on your elbow, whatever you want. We're going to bend that top knee and then start to extend. So you could grab a hold of the leg or the ankle or the leg. You could grab a hold of the toe, maybe. Do that yogi toe lock. So we're stretching here, but we're also balancing. If you have some trouble with this, bend that bottom knee so that you have the little sort of kickstand behind you. We'll keep you a little more stable. And we're just breathing. Bend the knee, set the leg back down, and we're going to roll onto the opposite side. Same thing, bending the top knee, balancing. And then set the leg back down. We can roll over onto your back now. I'm off the mat. Maybe you are too, but so come on back to the mat if you moved off here. So now we're laying on our backs. Take a few breaths. And then we're going to draw that right knee in to the chest. Then working on extending the leg. So you could stay here with the hands behind the thigh. You could grab a hold of the ankle or the calf. If you can, grab the toe. That's fine. So we're just working on getting as much extension as we can, but always working within your range of motion, not pushing too far. And then bend your knee and extend. Switch. Hugging that knee in on the left side. And then extending whatever degree, I guess, you can extend on this side is great. It's maybe different from the right. That's fine. We just take notice of these differences. We don't give them any value. They are just what they are. And then release it down. Both legs long. Bend the knees. Hug them into the chest. We'll rock a little side to side. And then we're going to reach for the ankles. Kind of like Happy Baby, but instead of lifting the legs up, we're going to see if you can bring the feet in closer. Right? This may or may not work well for you. You could be way up here, and that's okay. Just wherever you are, we're trying to draw those feet in a little closer. So this is, Supta Baddha Konasana, except on our back, right? So instead of pressing the feet against the floor, we're drawing them closer to the body. And then let's move into Happy Baby. So we can switch the hands to the instep or the ankles, drawing the feet up so the soles of the feet are sort of pointing toward the ceiling. You can rest here or move a little bit. That feels good. And then release. Set the feet down. Take a few breaths. And then we're going to bring that right ankle on top of the left knee. Take a breath here. Goalpost arms or arms out to a T. We're going to start lowering that knee down to the left. Back up, switch. This time, lowering to the right. And then back up, both feet to the mat. I'm going to do a supported bridge with a block. If you've got a block, you can do that. If you don't, you could just do a regular bridge. Or you could go get a block. That's fine. Lifting up. Find a good place for the block. And take a few breaths here. And lifting back up. Rest back down, soles of the feet together, knees apart. Breathe. And then we're going to move into Shavasana. So you could extend the legs here, or you could bring them up, lower them down, whatever you want to do to get into your Shavasana, whatever's comfortable. So it's okay, right, to find some comfort in the practice. We want to do that, but we also don't want to become attached to any one particular thing. So if you feel like you really can't get into Shavasana without lowering the legs, try it a different way. See what happens. You might be surprised that there's nothing special about any one particular pose, right? There is, I think, something special about the way the poses fit together and what happens to your body and your spirit and mind during practice. But each particular pose is not, it's not special, right? So if we skip a pose, we do a different pose, something that's not, what we normally do, or we aren't missing out. We're just doing things differently, right? And that's important. It's important to remember that there are many, many ways to get to where you want to go. Yoga is not a religion, but it is very respectful of all religions. What they say is there are many paths, but one truth. So there is this one truth that we are all one, that we are all together, but there are lots of ways to get there. And every religion, every sort of philosophy and way of thinking, right? Most of, pretty much all of them, I would say, are rooted in this idea, right? That we are one. Love your neighbor as yourself. Do unto others as you would have done to you. I mean, these are very common beliefs through all human systems, right? And we may have some small differences in, things that we, how we worship or where we worship, or whatever that may be. But in the essence, we are all one, right? And we're all on the same, seeking the same thing, just going in different directions. So don't ever get so distracted by the path that you forget the destination, right? The destination is what really matters. When you feel ready, you can start moving a bit, just bringing some motion back into the body. And then making your way up to a seat. We'll bring hands together, breath in and breath out. Thank you for coming to your mat for some yoga today, for sharing it with me. I hope you have a really great Friday. Namaste. Thank you for class. I'm going to move right into Shavasana. Not Shavasana. Meditation. We just moved out of Shavasana into meditation. So get comfortable. If you have a seat, cushion, or a chair you want to sit in, whatever you want to do. We're going to give this a good 5 minutes. So close your eyes, take a few breaths, focus that attention to that space that's there when the thoughts are, I won't say ceasing, in between the thoughts, right? That little break in between the thoughts. That's where we want to center our attention. Coming back to awareness, opening the eyes, deep breath in and out. Okay. And there is your Friday morning practice. Great. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be back tomorrow.